Let's all right, we are recording. We're gonna go ahead and get started. All right, now, so please make sure you have something to write with. That way you can, if you have questions at the end, you can ask them, or if you want to wait for the email portion, you can do that as well. I just want to go ahead and get started so we can get this underway. Now, I know that most of you, or let's say a lot of you, are actually new. So I just wanted to definitely welcome you guys, those who are brand new, just signing up. I thank you so much for expressing in me and watching my transition online and how I was able to find success. I know that a lot of you want to be able to have the same success. Now, I guarantee you that if you can follow these simple rules and steps, you too will find the same success. But I need you guys to really pay attention because, we're talking about real money, and I do not want any of you losing any of your money, especially if it's real money. You can play around with your demo account, but I need for everybody to be successful because that's the way I am. I drive this thing forward. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so you guys already know that this training is on. Hold on, just 1 second. Let me just. This training is going to be on, of course. Sorry about that, you guys. So this training is going to be on perfect entry. All right. Now, most of you, let's say some of you have come to me at some point, or you may have mentioned that your issue is entering in on the market. So that's why I thought that I would have another session on perfect entry training because that is going to be the bridge between a huge success and just a modest success. I don't want nobody to lose. I want everybody to be successful. I want you to be able to make a profit. But there is a difference between getting in at an opportune time, at a great time, and getting in when the move is just about over. All right? This as we go through this training, but we're going to go one step at a time because it's very important that you guys understand this. All right. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to use the GDP CAD chart. Most of you probably saw some of the action that's been going on. Matter of fact, let's go with I can go with the GDP NTD, the GDP CAD, or the GDP Aussie dollar. Either one is really, really good, especially this one. This is my baby here. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to understand that there's 3 steps to entering in on the market. In order for you to make a decent profit, I beg you guys to follow these steps. They will definitely help you and prevent you. I'll say that it will definitely help you, and it's going to prevent you from making a huge mistake that's going to cost a lot of money. All right. So the first thing that we're going to cover is waiting for the setup. All right. And the first bullet point I have is be disciplined in your quest to finding the perfect entry point. Only get in on a move when the market conditions are favorable. All right. Now, a lot of times we tend to look at the market and we will, out of just wanting to get into the market because the market is open, you want to get in on a trade. I understand that. But that's going to be the difference between you being a winner and you being a loser. Or you just making $5 or you making $500 in one day. All right? You guys have to keep in mind that the market opens up Sunday evening and it closes on Friday evening. That said, you have all that time to trade the market, to look at opportunities in the market. There's no reason why you need to rush in on any trade. Always allow the market to come to you. In other words, let the setup happen, and then you attack. Do not go in prematurely. All right? It's very important that you follow these steps. All right, now I'm going to go through the steps, but I just want to make sure that I cover every bullet point so that I'm making myself clear. Because, for instance, I'm going to show you guys where I got into the market at on this GBP entity. I got in somewhere around here. The market was going sideways. It's consolidated. I got in. All right, and currently I'm still in on this trade. All right, let's just say roughly I'm up 700 pips on a number of trades. Now, that could have been you, all right? Now, if you look at this, the first thing you want to do when you assessing the market is you always want to look at the big picture, all right? And when you look at the big picture, you can see that the market is going down. Noticeably, it's going down. All right, it's actually beyond the point of where the market had rose to before declining. This is where it began, this is where it ended, and then we had the major decline. So you look at the big picture, you get an overall temperament of what's going on. All right, so my forecast when looking at this is okay. It's moving down. We see that moving down. That doesn't mean that it will never retrace. As you see the market retrace, it will retrace. And in fact, this was the biggest retrace actually since the decline. This is the biggest retrace. You see it continue to go down. So just because there's a retrace that's bigger than the others it doesn't tell you anything. You still have to look at the market in its entirety for to realize what's going on. So we see that it's going on a downstream. All right, so let's move forward from that. And now you see that this was a Brexit situation that happened just about 2 weeks ago. All right, so following that news release, the market has been declining. One day bullish, but it didn't mean anything because it was actually consolidated. And I'm not even going to consider the current candle because we're only 11 minutes into the day. So immediately after that fall, it tapped down and it held down at this level. All right. So this is my first observation. If I had to go back 3 or 4 days, my first observation was that the market pulled down, it got down, now it's going sideways. Before it pushed down 500-600 pips, the market was going sideways. So from that point, you start to delve into what's really going on. All right, now the way I look at this is this. What's really going on is that the market is going sideways. All right, it's the first thing I see. Act like this isn't here. You only see this. The market is going sideways, and now what you want to do is you want to realize, all right, is the market going to go up or down? You do not know yet. So you do not know. You do not get into the market. Now, don't get into the market until you have a confirmation. Now, if you look at this, at some point there was a confirmation that told us that it was going to go down. All right, this candle was definitely a signal that it was going to go down. Because I know this pair, there were a few other signals that I talked about in a video on YouTube, but I don't expect everyone to know that. And that holds true with this pair, but it might not hold true for every pair. But I know that looking at this pair, I'm going to keep it basic. The market is consolidating. That's the basic realization of what's going on right now. If you don't see this, the market is going sideways. So that being said, your next question is, will it go up or down? That's when you start to delve into everything else. All right. Now, from that point, then you have to really break down and get to the nitty gritty. Now let's move forward to the next bullet point. So attack only on the obvious and not when there's the slightest bit of uncertainty. All right, that's very, very, very true. A number of times I get people who contact me and want to know, hey, you said the market is going to go up, but does that mean, or you put out the video that it's going to, that it's a trade signal or trade alert on such and such pair, and should I go up? Of course, I'm not going to tell you to do anything with your money. I won't do that. But what I will tell you to do is back up real quick and look at this chart for yourself. Realize what's really going on. So if you get into the market too soon, if you don't have a confirmation that it's going to break, that it has broken out of this containment, I want to call this consolidation or the containment. All right, I use them interchangeably. If you do not have a confirmation, then you are not following the second bullet point. You do not know, you're not certain that the market is going to continue to go in any direction. So you only, if you have any bit of doubt, do not get into the market. You're at a 50% chance of winning when you start trading because the market will only go up or down. So make your best move, or make your move your best move. That's the truth about it. If you're going to put a buy in, make sure you have with certainty almost 100% sure that it's going to go up. And you do that with 3 steps that I'm going to point out. Let's move to the next bullet point. And it says trade the most powerful price action reversal setups or consolidation zones. They're more powerful on the day chart or higher time frames. Most of you have recognized that I stay on the daily chart. I don't have a reason to deal with anything from the minute to the hour. I don't care about that. In certain circumstances, I might go down to the hour. But if I had a way of removing these, of which I do, I would. I do not care about these being on my chart because I don't have a use for them. All right? Because one thing for certain, if this market is here, I want you guys to follow me. If this market is here and it's setting up on a move, it can either go up or down. All right? At a consolidation zone or at a support or resistance, the market will only break through it, the resistance will go down. If it goes down, chances are it's going to go far. I'm talking about hundreds of pips. So if you got in here, what's the need of getting in a false alert? If you know that, if I know that I stand to make, let's just say from here to here, if I stand to make 2,000 pips almost, why would I get in too early? I can get in right here and still clean that. The move was based on this price action signal and engulfing candle. So what I want to do at all times, I'm always going to wait and let the market prove what's going on. 1 second, you guys. My screen has frozen for some reason. All right, and I'm going to pick off where I left off. All right, great. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, get back started. I do apologize, you guys. I don't like to have any setbacks like this. I like to keep things going. So basically, where I was at was just got to gather my thoughts again. If you're looking at the market, and let's just say the market is here, this right here would have been a classic signal for you to get in on an actual downward move. All right. Now, if I remember correctly, this was a couple thousand pips down. So even if you got in after this candle closed, you're so far ahead of the move that you could have accumulated some great pips, and that's just by knowing where your support and resistance was. Like for instance, you could have taken the market here, taken it back up to here, and back down, and you're only going to get these types of indicators on your daily chart. It's not that you can't get it on other charts. It's just that you're going to go through different levels of support and resistance, and it's not working. So I want to make sure you guys understand it. Let's go back to let me see 1 second. 1 second, you guys. All right, sorry about that, you guys. So basically, what you want to make sure that you have on your chart, as we always go through this, you want to make sure that you have your support and resistance. All right. We're going to be looking at let's see, we're on a daily chart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot on some support and resistance right now, and I want you guys to understand how important your support and resistance will be. All right. For this demonstration, I'm going to pull my chart all the way back, and I'm going to go with the highest point. This is a wick, so I'm not concerned about this right now. I'm going to go with real bodies, as you see. And then, of course, you always look left to make sure that this level is good, which we see it's a fantastic level. All right. So the rule is, of course, first thing you want to do, always look left. All right. You always want to look left. All right. Sorry about that. So you always want to look left regardless of what you're doing. You always look left. All right. And from there, check to see if those levels are good. If those levels are good, you know that you can move forward. So I'm going to go ahead and plot on some levels that I know that are actually good. Since we've done this, we've been through this before. And normally what I do during this demonstration, I'll make these different colors, just for the sake of your eye when you're looking back. And I'm going to follow the same routine. I'm not going to change it. Make sure that you guys are following this. Now, you don't have to change yours to a different color. This is just what I do when I'm in training mode. So when we look back, we can tell which support and resistance line is which. Now, if you notice, each one of my levels are good levels. That's dating back to 2008. My levels are good. And these are fantastic levels. The market just bounced I can probably afford to put one in between, to be honest, something like that. These levels are great. So basically, when you have your support and resistance levels on, your next thing you want to do is you want to realize, okay, I now have my support and resistance levels on. Now, when do I get into the market is what you want to ask yourself. So I'm going to give you a classic setup, this right here. We're going to consider this a doji. Spinning top doji, whatever you want to call it. We're going to consider this a doji. Let's just act like this is a classic doji. It has a nice body on it, to be honest with you. This is the daily chart. And we have like 45 pips on it. So not the classic one, but we're gonna act like this is one. Either way, the next candle involved. So at resistance, when you get a move like this at resistance, this is your green light to get in on the market. Now, some of you might be a little aggressive. You might be trigger happy. You might get in a little sooner than, or in some cases, a lot sooner than the candle closes. If you get in sooner, of course, you could incur a little risk. You actually incur more risk. But nonetheless, if the move is right, you gain more pips. All right. But I warn you, just make sure if you do that, if you get in before the candle closes, that it can mean your tail. All right. Now, I'm not saying that I follow that rule all the time. Just want to make sure you guys understand what's at stake when you do so. All right. So you have support and resistance plotted on. You have your confirmation candle. You have your price action candle. You get in on the next candle. What happens? The market goes down in your favor, 800 pips. That's a good day. That's a fantastic day. So you might ask yourself, okay, well, I know support and resistance. I know price action. When do I really get in? Well, you really get in when your second rule has been fulfilled, or requirement has been fulfilled. The first rule is you want to get in at resistance or support. All right? You want to make sure that the market is at resistance or support. The next one, you want to make sure that you get a price action signal. And the most powerfulest moments to get a signal and follow that signal is when it's at a major support or resistance level. That will be a golden opportunity to attack the market and get all that you can out of it. Not saying over leverage your account. I'm just saying if you're at the top of the move. That's what I mean. You're at the top of the move, you go ride it all the way down. You know, case in point. You got in here because of this candle. You could have rode this all the way down to here. All right? And then some. And then more. So although you could have gotten out here and then got back in and got it down to here, rode it up to here, got back down to here, and you know, you can do that. But there are trades that I get in on that I don't care to show. I let them bad boys run. I let them run. A lot of people they leave the type of profit you can make on a daily chart, but understand this: if you have price action, you have support resistance first. If you have price action being your second requirement, everything else is beneath you. Everything else, you're in the money. But you want to make sure that you follow number 1 and number 2. All right? Hold on just 1 second, you guys. All right, so that's very important. What's very important is you follow the rule. Number 1 and 2. Number 1 being, I have it written down. So number 1 would be, okay, let me get out of here. For some reason, it's not allowing me to do this. 1 second, guys. All right, so now we should be able to look at, okay, here. All right, so as I stated before, I'm going to run through this one more time. Wait for the setup, all right? Very important. Be disciplined in your quest to finding the perfect entry point. Only get in on a move when market conditions are favorable. Attack only on the obvious and not when there is the slightest bit of uncertainty. Trade the most common powerful price action reversal setups or consolidation zones. They're more powerful on the day chart or higher time frames. One thing for certain is this. If you guys only traded consolidation, if that's all you did was trade it on consolidation, you will stand to make a lot of money. If you only traded on moments when the market is going sideways, now that was something that I used to do. I used to trade only on consolidation. I'm telling you guys right now, if you follow that rule, I want you guys to get a pen and paper out right now. I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to show you guys how to trade this. Please take notes on this. All right? This market here went from here. I rolled this bad boy up. Not the entire way. I was taking money as I went. All right? But I rolled it up from here, April 2015, and it went all the way up until September 2015 before it went sideways. Now, if you are trading on consolidation like this, you will stand to be very profitable. I'm telling you, I happen to do it all. I don't just focus on one thing. I've surpassed that junction. So at this point, I want you guys to take the reins. I want you guys to understand how to do it. So let's zoom in and let's look at this consolidated zone. Now I'm gonna make this probably a little, say something like this. I could go down here. I could. Or I could go up here. I'm gonna do this. Let me just do this. Oh, let's just do this. Let's go down to there. All right. Now, I do not like that color. Let's go with the blue. Favorite color. All right. So, is the market at support and resistance? Yes. Check. Do you have a price action signal? Nothing noticeable. There's no clear signal here. You see that the market has held steady at this level, but there's no clear signal. So this is what you guys want to do. And I welcome you guys to write this down. Please do. Please write this down. When you have a consolidation zone, and it is not a clear signal, like you don't have an engulfing candle. Yes, you have a candle that closed outside of it, but then it gapped up. But it also went back down. But it kept going down. But nonetheless, you could have gotten in a lot sooner. All right? So let's focus on realizing how to get in sooner. Very simple. You can drop down one time chart. You don't see it. You don't see a signal coming out of this chart, then you can drop down to your hourly. Some people would go to the hourly first. That's fine. In fact, the hourly will give you a faster signal. And that's why I said I very suddenly go to the hour. But if I'm trading consolidation, I might drop down to the hour. Because the hour will give me a signal faster than it would, going off the floor or the day in certain circumstances. If I'm in it for the long haul, I don't care what the hourly is doing. If I can get in a day late and I'm still going to be in humongous profit. So I wouldn't care about, getting in so early where, I'm risking my money. I don't want to risk any money. So basically, this is what you would do. So you have your area highlighted from your daily chart. All right, that's a major. You wait until the market closes outside of that chart to give you your signal. And the market did close outside of the zone. It closed out here. But however, if you got in here, the view made profit, but then it gapped up. Eventually went down, but it gapped up and it's kind of bumpy. But you made money. You've been shaking in your boots for a second, but you made money. Let's go down to the hourly. And let's see what's going on here. Now, you would have got in sooner. You would have got in up here. 240, 646. Let's see where you would have gotten in at. You would have got in a little later. 240, 228. All right, so you'd have gotten higher had you got in on the deal on the hour. All right, you would have got in here, but the market would have still gone against you. It would have still went against you a little bit, not much. Let's just say 65 pips. Not much, because you got in sooner. If you got in on the 4 hour, you'd have got it further down. It would have been a little higher, maybe 40 more pips higher, 100 pips. So I want you guys to know that as a trader, you guys have to remember how to use and when to use certain tactics. You have to remember, okay, let me think. I want to get in the soonest, but I don't want to risk my money either. So since the market is at support and resistance, or since it's in a consolidation zone at a resistance level, it had been for a while. I know I stand to make a lot of profit once it breaks out of this area, in which you did. You made tons of money. I'm trying to tell you guys. I wouldn't be so critical to get in. Like, if you understand what's going on in the market was consolidated for, you're talking, let's just say, from here to here, like almost 3 weeks trading. The market was clearly resisting this level. It was not budging, not at all. So that lets you know, not with certainty though. It doesn't let you know with certainty. It lets you know it's a higher probability that it's going to go down. It's just like any wall. If you pound at the wall and you don't break it with this sustained force, with 50 pounds of force, if you're not breaking that wall, chances are you won't break it. But if you apply more force, 80 pounds, there's a chance you might break it. But Forex logic kicks in. If you haven't broken it, chances are you probably won't break it. So I'm going to put a little more weight on the move going down. But not until I get a confirmation. That's the rule. The confirmation is the rule. The support and resistance are going to be your signals, your early signals. They're going to be like your eye opens. Okay, let me open up my chart real quick to see what the market is doing. Oh, the market it's leveling out at this perfect level, and I think that let's just look at this level. Let's look and see what's going on. Because I'm in on this trade here, and I don't. And so busy today, I didn't have a chance to look at this. But let's just look at this real quick and see. All right, so you see what the market is. This is just FYI for you guys that are in on this trade. The market is currently at this level. Change the color to this. Leave the Jets in the sun. All right, so you see the market is at this level. This is what we're competing with. This is the low point. This is the lowest point of all time. All right? So we're at 176 being the low point. The market is at 181. or 182 right now. So that being said, the market has come all the way down. It has dropped down from the Brexit situation, dropped all the way down. It doesn't have that far more to go before it can realize. You see the difference between there and there. You see what that is. That's the look at it. 400 pips. 400 pips can be realized in one day on this paper. That's nothing. That's nothing for the GDP and ZD. So we could possibly expect, because this market, this is the second level that I placed on here. This is the second level. Oh, let me see. I might be wrong. Yeah, this is the second level. This is the first one, and this is the second level. Actually, no, I have one down here. This would have been the second, but I guess I moved it. But nonetheless, this area is the low point of all time with the GDP and ZD. So if the market bounces back down to that area, let your Forex logic kick in. Do you think if the market came from 370 something all the way up here, do you really think that if it bounced all the way down to here and went all the way up, that it will break this level in its entirety? There's a chance. I'm not saying that it won't, but you have to start putting things in perspective. Okay, there's a reason why there are major pivot points. All right, this is a major pivot point from all the way up here to here. When it planted its foot, and when it planted its foot here, it bounced up, kept going up, planted again, came up, planted again, came up, broke it, and went all the way down to here. And then from here, it went up and it ranged. Then it said, screw that, I'm going high. And it went all the way up to 245, 246. The highest is 253 during the Greece situation. And then now it's back down from September of last year, not even a whole year. It climbed this high, it's already down to almost the low of all time. So sometimes you have to put things in perspective to understand what's really going on in the market. So if I see the market drop all the way down to here, and it's nearing an all-time low, and when you have an all-time low, and you have a high that's hasn't been in a while, you go back since 2008, hasn't been hit, or let's say 2009, 2008, 2009, and it hit it again. My belief is that it's going to bounce off of it. Just like here. If it comes down here, I'm going to expect a retrace or something. Even if it doesn't go all the way up, at least a retrace. So if you guys are in on this trade, I would look at an exit strategy. Have some kind of exit strategy in place, and that way you're not psyched into holding your money and then losing. All right? That's just my fair warning. All right? So basically, as I showed you here, let's just go back to what I showed you here. As I showed you here, you always, when you have an area of consolidation, because the first thing I said was, if you're going to trade consolidation as I did before, when I got started, I focused on consolidations. I knew when a market got out of consolidation, it's like having a bottle of soda and you're shaking it up. You're shaking it up. You're shaking it up. You're shaking it up. You take the top off, it's going to explode. And it's going to go so far that you're going to make a lot of money. So rather losing your money, play to win. Look for, you see what's going on. The market is at resistance. And you know that Scott said, Yusef said, or whoever you heard say consolidation. When the market is in consolidation, it's going to break out of that zone. So when the market breaks out of that zone, instead of you waiting for the day candle to close, you can always wait, look on the 4 hour or as low as the one hour. Some of you might just want to go even lower. I personally don't trust it because then you start dealing with, this trust Go as low as a 1 hour. I'm not even going to tell you anything further. It's go as low as a 1 hour because a 1 hour will give you an accurate reading and measure on what's going on. When the market closes outside of it, body, not wick, when it closes outside of it, not piercing, when the body closes outside of it, I will get in. That's more of a signal that it's going to keep going down. All right? So I hope you guys wrote this down. Very important. You have a consolidation zone on your daily, or even your 4 hour. You can always highlight the area, drop down to your 1 hour, and wait for, and it's critical to have a good zone. Just like this, the market hasn't broken out of this. When the market breaks out of it and closes the next candle, provided you feel comfortable with getting in on the trade, because the market can break out of it and it can go back up into it. It's been done. What I'm telling you, if you feel comfortable with the market going in that direction, then get in. All right? So that's the instruction on trading a consolidation. Very important. All right? Now, in this area, the market you didn't know that it was you didn't know that it was reaching consolidation. It really didn't show you, I would say, really until here. Once it made a second top and then it just kept bouncing, yeah, this area is definitely something to watch. So you're talking a 500 pip range, which is why when you have a stop loss when you're trading these pairs with high volatility, you know, high volume pairs, you might need a higher stop loss. I mean, these pairs can move. So that's very important, guys. Very important when you're trading out of consolidation. Okay. So let's look at the next bullet point. Let's go back to the daily and let's look at the next bullet point. This is very important. I want you guys to make sure you master this. It's going to be a way that you guys are going to replace incomes in different areas of your life. All right, now things to consider. Be this request to find the perfect entry point. Only get in on a move when market conditions are favorable. Attack only on the obvious and not when there's the slightest bit of uncertainty, as mentioned before. All right? Now, going forward, be sure to look out for those strong support and resistance zones. Those zones will be found on the daily chart. All right? And you can go a little higher, go to weekly, monthly, but the daily is the sweet spot for support and resistance zones. It's real strong. All right? Time frames provide less accuracy. All right? What I mean by that, for those of you, let me just say this. For those of you who are new, you just joined, this is your first training, you're not correct. You will get a very extensive training on Thursday, provided you're available. All right? We're going to go into everything on a much deeper level. But we don't have the kind of time today to do everything that we normally do in a course, that type of training. So we're on the daily right now, and these are your levels that are noticed. All right, I'll probably add more in, like here. This is probably a good level. And then if you drop down to let's just look real quick. Let's just look. We're going to focus in on, let's see, shapes. Let's focus in. Let's zoom in on this area. Might look very small, but on a minute chart, it's huge. It's a nice size area. All right, so this is the minute chart. This is from just about the new day, this time yesterday, just about all the way up until now. Now, in between here, you do not see a level. You only see one level, and that's the level from the day chart. But in between here, you have multiple levels that you can consider the levels, like this one, all right, that the market can simply bounce from. You could do something like this, perhaps. The market was tied into there, bouncing off there, and it broke down. Use our crosshair, get an idea. I'll probably do something like this. That's probably a decent level. So these, you see how these levels aren't even open. So how would you know where the market is going to go? There's a lot of uncertainty on your minute chart. The higher you go up, the less the uncertainty becomes. The lower, you don't know where you're at. You don't know. So that's one reason why I don't trade up the daily. I mean, that's why I don't trade up the minute chart. Very uncertain. Market conditions are very uncertain. Let me just delete one out one in this case. The other ones are not. So let's go to back to the daily. You guys saw that this one candle, maybe a candle and a half, was all that on the minute chart. So if you're trading on that, and you see I added 3 levels in, 3 extra levels on that little piece of area right there. 3 extra levels that you don't even see on here. But those levels are supposed to be strong. That's below me. These levels are the strong levels. When you see the market bouncing off these levels, that's when you really want to pay attention. Like here. The market bounced here. What did it do? It went all the way up. We're at 181.589. Of course, we're back down to around the same area, but the market went as high as here. So that's better than getting in, on another support and resistance that's, that's weak, one of your weaker levels. You probably would have gotten in on one of these, and your profit potential would have been cut in half, if not more, fraction of what you could have gotten or would get off the daily support and resistance. All right. So let's go to the next bullet point. All right. So basically, how to plot your support and resistance onto your chart is, of course, going on your daily and using the most obvious levels. Because I always go by, if I see that the market has bounced through the thumb, if the market bounced at a certain level one time, like in this area, the market bounced up here once, but we know that it's supported back in 2005 and further beyond that. The fact that the market bounced here once, this is a good level. Because there's a reason why it came from 270 some or 370 some all the way to here. The reason why. All the way from up here, all the way down to here. So you think of the market does this. This is all it does. All day long. Regardless of what chart you're on. The only difference, when you're on a minute chart, you got a lot of little lines, a lot of candles. Thousands of candles going up and down. You get down to that daily, your moves are much cleaner and smoother. And that's why you have longer runs going up, longer runs going down. Straight lines sometimes. Consecutive days, more or less. So you draw your lines on, and what you want to do is make sure that area, you can use your crosshair to help guide you. You get in an area like this where the market's choppy, or if it's ranging, and you want to realize the level a little easier, you can always do something like this. Like this is the level right here. Sure, I didn't draw all of them on because for the sake of time, but this is a definite level. So if you draw your lines on, you see multiple taps at that level, You make that a line, but always make sure you look left to confirm it. Don't just go off of what you see in the immediate price action area. You place them based on your price action area, place your line there, but you look left. Okay, yeah, you know what, this is really bouncing 2005, 2008, it just kept bouncing around this area here, yeah, it's boom. So remember, support and resistance first. Price action is next. All right? Now, things to consider. Smaller time frames provide less accuracy, so if you're using them, know that they're leaving. Know that you're leaving yourself open for fake outs. I cannot be any plainer than that. All right? Now, look for the most powerful reversal candles. Candle patterns. All right? Now, I've given each and every one of you a price action. It's the candlestick cheat sheet. That candlestick cheat sheet has a number of reversal candles in there. So it's very imperative that you guys study that. Make sure you take time and look at your charts and look at how some of those candles, when presented on your chart, can be an easy signal for a turnaround. I think I was looking at the GDP tag today. I think I was. So a signal on a GDP tag. I think what we're going to do, we're going to have a session of price action itself, because I know that we have newcomers, and I know a lot of people aren't all too familiar with price action. So I want to make sure that you guys are up to snuff with that. So let's go back here. So let's look at the next bullet point. All right. Okay. Things to consider about price action signals would be the smaller time frames provide less accuracy. Oh, but that's a reprint. I think I read this already. Trade the most powerful price action reversal setups. They're either powerful than you thought on a day chart or higher time frames. Very true. An engulfing candle on a day chart, the engulfing candle itself would have more volume than it would on a candle, an engulfing candle on the hour. That one candle alone is 1 day. Engulfing candle, 472 pips. You do the math. What do you want to trade? You want to go by hourly and find an engulfing candle? Fine. That's what you want to do. Let's find one. Here you are, right at resistance. You can have this too. That's only 72 pips. I think I would rather have 6 times that amount. That's what I would rather have. That's literally what I would rather have. So you guys can, I think it's clear where the money potential is. You get in on you have a clear signal, and if it's at a support or resistance, game over. The game is over. You don't necessarily have to wrestle with that. You should definitely still look and make sure that it's going to hold true. As I do, if I'm catching a move, like for instance here, if I'm watching this and I see it, okay, it's breaking through it, I'm going to get in on it, but I'm not just going to get on it and go to the grocery store or go down the street and do this and do that. Go talk to Jim and Mike across the field. I'm not going to do that. I want to make sure that it goes in the direction. One, make sure I'm not trading too high volume. Two, make sure that I am getting in at a support or resistant level. That if and when it breaks that level, I know it's going to run. Okay? So, like here, let's just say I got in here, it's already traveled 700 pips. And that's with me, with this, I have to be honest, and I'm training you guys to make no mistakes. I know this pair like the back of my hand, so let me just explain this. When this pair has gaps like this, I look at these gaps and I use them as support resistance. The market gap down here came up to the gap area, couldn't break it. It went down. The market gap down here, it stayed at this area. It did not break it.